Oh, I think I'm live. Today is May the 11th, 2025, and I am reading The Invisible Way, A Time to Love, A Time to Die by Reshad Feild. This was published in 1979. Reshad passed away in 2016. This is his journey from Turkey to England. He's back in England, visiting Elizabeth and visiting John, who is very ill. And he is picking up Elizabeth to bring her to see John, because John believes his end is near. Chapter 16. I left my flat about 8 the next morning to collect Elizabeth for the drive to John's house. I had intended to leave early, but Elizabeth was still at her desk when I arrived, and it looked as if she had been up all night writing. From the lines under her eyes, I realized that she would be too tired to make the trip without stopping. So I called Noor and explained the situation, saying that we would now be arriving sometime after lunch. It was a beautiful day. Everything was fresh and green. The trees and hedgerows sparkled with life in the morning sunlight. Birds sang and chattered, darting in and out of the hedgerows by the side of the road, and flew in flocks in front of the car, wheeling and circling. Small puffs of cloud scuttered over the tops of the higher hills. Otherwise the sky was a deep blue. I remembered lying on the ground as a child, looking up at such a sky, certain that I could see through it and still see the stars shining. The drive was calm and uneventful, in spite of the confusion of the day before. Elizabeth sat silently looking out of the window at the passing countryside. Her attitude that day was different. Gone was her usual brusque and funny manner, in many ways a mask hiding a deep inner quality I had sensed but not seen. I did not disturb her, and it was she who eventually broke the silence. I have been dwelling on many things since yesterday, she said. We have hardly had time to get to know each other, but when this cycle is completed, I shall still be here, and perhaps there will be an opportunity for us to become more intimate. I realize how hard it must be for you and Noor to cope with the speed of events. But, you see, none of us knew for certain the time of John's death. I'm just as human in this as you are. It is not easy for me either to face the stark reality of this journey. You see, John has been more than a friend to me. We have been fellow pupils all these years, and we have had a very deep inner link. You must have seen this, but then I suppose that you and Noor have not had much time to talk about it. I have told her a few things about John's and my life together, and how we were never able to be married. It has been a strange situation, for we committed ourselves from the very beginning, knowing that we could not share our lives together completely. Perhaps in some ways it has proved a good thing, but it has been at times very painful. John has always been right in the middle of life, in the center of his own present moment. Some saw him bigger than life, but that's so silly. How could anyone be bigger than what is? It is just that we live such poor lives half of the time that people are envious of someone who knows the art of spontaneity. I love John deeply, for he taught me, little by little, that finally there is no separation. It is as though he is perpetually in touch with a vast storehouse of knowledge and energy. I believe that he finally tapped the source when he first became paralyzed. Perhaps the shock of the illness came as a gift at precisely the right moment. I'm telling you these things because John taught me how to tap this source of life energy, and I hope that one day it will be available to you and Noor. The way, however, lies in commitment. I should be asking exactly what you and Noor are going to do. but it is difficult now. Just remember that it is only through absolute commitment that you can be led step by step towards real freedom. The more we commit ourselves, the more each action we take affects everything else on this planet. And thus, the more responsible we have to be. Forgive me for being serious, but there is so much to be learned. We have to have a great deal of experience and knowledge to really help each other. This situation is ironic, for John and I always thought that it would be me who would go first. We talked about this over 20 years ago and studied ways to help someone through the transition of death. There's no real transition for John, for he has already come home. It will just be easing out of time into the timelessness. If you commit yourself totally to the work of transformation, it could be the same for you to die before you die. You must commit yourself totally to life, and then life itself becomes the guide and the teacher. I knew of her deep concern for Noor and myself, and I realized her enormous discretion and her faith in the perfection lying within the matrix. We drove on in silence. I was deeply affected by what Elizabeth had said. The road had been climbing steadily, and on a tall hill overlooking the River Wye in Hertfordshire, we found a country inn where we could stop for lunch. Elizabeth got out of the car slowly. Her back was bent, and it was as if she was somehow older than the Elizabeth I had met in London. We went into the pub and sat by the open fire. "What do you mean exactly by helping someone through death?" I asked her, as the landlord brought us the sandwiches we had ordered. "What I'm trying to ask is whether there is anything special that we should know." "No," she replied, "as I told you, it is somewhat different with John. It's very simple, really. You told your teacher that you wanted to know you were loved. There's a great key in that. You understood a lot of it, but there are so many levels. For any of us to be free, there must be no attachments. Attachment is to do with time and space. We attach ourselves to things here, to people, memories, and so on, because we are full of fear. We wonder what would happen if we had nothing to hold on to. Thus the different parts of our being hang on to the end, the physical body being the last to let go, for it is composed of the grossest matter. Grossest matter. Fantastic as it sounds, even the cells in your body have a memory pattern. The body is a vehicle. We should respect it, for it is the same, we should respect it, for it is the home of the mind. But we should not get attached to it. In the same way, we should not identify with feelings and sensations. They too are vehicles for other, higher forms of energy. Thus I was taught that energy follows thought. John has reached a state of non-attachment. He does not think in the normal sense of the word, but uses pure thought, pure energy for inner work, both within himself and to help others. He's not attached to feelings, and yet that does not mean that he does not feel. Far from it. That man feels more deeply than anyone I have ever met. All of us in the school that we have been with for these many years were trained in the art of non-attachment. In death, that capacity is tested to the utmost. For John now, it is only a matter of time. He is free in himself, but the lifespan of the body is not complete as yet. Forgive me for rattling on, but there is one thing I want to explain. A true master is able to choose the time of his death. The legends are full of incidents of those who knew the time and were completely conscious right up to and through death itself. John knows perfectly well when this will be. We don't. He is master over his body and will know at the right time when it will let go. You are only beginning, so these matters may seem far beyond you, but it is all in the realm of possibility that you will come to understand. The fact is, you would not be here at this time if you had not already committed yourself to the way. Now learn to commit yourself to life and to all the responsibilities down here in this world, and you may find that life and the spiritual path are one. Come on, we must get going. Don't forget what I said about your own commitment and about Noor, for it is all part of what is going on at this time. She smiled at last and waved her monocle at me. Be sensible, but not too serious, she said. And I finish this here. Next chapter is number 17.